All right, friends, thanks again for coming for today's strength class. Here is our waiver that we have. So here's our Cupid Scramble. Hopefully you are participating. Again, at the very end of the class, we will go ahead and show you what the letter of the day is. And then if you unscramble that letter, or sorry, that word at the end of the week, you are eligible for a raffle prize. So hopefully you are able to win this first week's prize. Next, we did the educational webinar yesterday. I presented on that. That was really, really cool. I had about 110 people, which was really awesome. So if you want the recording for that, just send me a message or let me know in the chat, and then I can send that to you after this class is over. Again, all educational webinars are always recorded. Lastly, we have the cooking demo. Again, that cooking demo will be for the fresh corn and tomato fettuccine. So hopefully you are able to join. That'll be next Wednesday. Hopefully you are able to join to get some really cool recipe and really cool ingredients. I will go ahead and stop sharing. All right, friends, I will spotlight myself and then we can start warming up a little bit. All right, cool. Let's go and start warming up a little bit. Let's go and start doing some lateral arm swings, please. Lateral arm swings. We have 4 different exercises today. We got a pushing, a pulling, a squatting, and then a bending. So full body, 4 different exercises. A pretty good amount of repetitions. Let's go and do some arm circles forward. And we'll progressively get a little bigger. And then let's go ahead and do some backwards. Get a little bigger. Let's go ahead and get some tension off from our neck. So let's go ahead and move our neck side to side. Again, not super fast. You can even close your eyes if you want to. Even do some rotations. Don't go super fast so you don't get dizzy. Taking some tension from our leg. You can even go up and down a little bit. Side to side. All right, let's go and get some blood flow to our low back. So we're going to go and have our feet directly underneath our hips. Take our hands, put them behind our back. And then we're going to go ahead and bend forward just to get some blood flow to our low back. You should have a slight rounding here in your low back, just so you get some, again, blood flow to your low back. Just like we're bowing down. And then we're going to go ahead and go on the ground and relieve some tension. So on our knees, or grip our knees, and we're going to go ahead and move up and down. Crack our back. Then we'll go in the seated position right here, cross one of our legs. And we'll reach for one leg. You can even twist a little bit. Then we'll do the other leg. Then have your hands to your side and bring your knees together. Just move them side to side like a windshield wiper. And then again, we'll cradle our knees. All right, everyone, a nice little flow. Okay, so we have 4 different exercises. The very first one will be a strict hang, clean, and press, or strict hang, clean, and jerk. Not utilizing our legs, mostly all of our upper body and our forearms. Then we have a dumbbell single arm row. Then we have a narrow stance squat, and then lastly a glute bridge. Okay, so for the very first exercise, we are going to have the dumbbells right by our side. We're going to curl them up to our shoulders, and then we're going to go ahead and press. So this will be a strict hang, clean, and press, or strict hang, clean, and jerk, whatever terminology you would like to use. I'll go from the lateral view. Again, curling and pressing, curling and pressing. A normal dumbbell hang, clean, and press, or hang, clean, and jerk would look like this, where you're utilizing your hips, but we're taking the hips out. Okay, so again, that'll be the very first exercise. Anywhere between 12 to 15 reps total. total amount of repetitions, okay? The next one, we have a dumbbell single arm row, and then I'll coach you through as we finish the very first movement. So go ahead and grab your dumbbells, dumbbell, strict, hang clean, and press. Starting with taking the dumbbells to the shoulders, and then pressing them overhead. Again, anywhere between 12 to 15 reps. Just make sure that you lock out your elbows and get full range of motion. Try and keep the dumbbells super close to your sides. That way you protect your shoulders. If they're too out, you expose your shoulders. So again, keep them pretty close to your side. And as soon as you get elbow extension, bring those dumbbells back to your shoulders. Again, anywhere between 12 and 15 reps. Okay. The next one, we have a dumbbell single arm row. So if you want to grab a chair, or maybe you have a bench, you can also do this just freestanding with no object. But what we're going to do here is you're going to take one hand, start with your left hand, place it on the seat, have your left leg forward, your right leg behind it, have your elbow fully locked out, and then we're going to go ahead and row. I'm sure you've done this movement before, but we're going to do anywhere between 10 to 12 reps on your right, and then 10 to 12 reps on your left. So whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and start that movement. Again, nice, good neutral back, neutral spine. If you don't have the object, we'll just have your feet directly underneath your hips. And you can have your hand on your knee or your thigh, or even place it behind your low back. And you're performing that single arm row. Again, anywhere between 10 to 12 repetitions, everyone, 10 to 12 repetitions. Once you finish, just again, try and get you a nice good rest. Let your heart rate go down. So we got the strict hang, clean and press or jerk. We have the dumbbell single arm row. The next one, we have a narrow stance squat, anywhere between 10 to 12 reps. So you're going to grab your dumbbell. You're going to be here in the goblet position. Narrow stance, we're looking at our feet to be directly underneath your hips. And we're going to make this more of a quad dominant exercise. We're going to have a little bit more knee flexion. So we really want to focus on pushing our knees slightly forward. That way that tension gets created in our quads, okay? So if you want to try it without a dumbbell first, you totally can. If you want to grab the dumbbell and go in the goblet position, you totally can. But have your feet directly underneath your hips. Make sure your toes are directly pointing forward. And then you're going to push your knees forward as you squat. And you're going to feel some tension here in your quads, okay? You can also slightly lean back, which makes it what's called a sissy squat. And that really gets a nice stretch, okay? And whenever you're ready, again, anywhere between 10 to 15 reps, pushing our knees forward, making this a quad dominant exercise, as opposed to getting, full range of motion. Might look a little silly, but there is some effectiveness here on the quad, which isolates the quad. You could also do this where it's rear foot elevated. So basically you would put a plate underneath your heels, which will put you at a slight incline, and that will even give you more of a stretch. More of a stretch, which will help benefit and isolate the quads. Again, anywhere between 10 and 12 reps. The next one and the last one will be on the floor or on the ground. 10 to 12, either bodyweight bridges or dumbbell glute bridges, okay? Grab your dumbbell. I'll go a couple dumbbells and a couple body weights. Again, heels closer to your glutes. Have the dumbbell on your hip. Go ahead and raise your hips and squeeze at the very top. And then a nice tempo on the way down. I adjusted my camera, so if you cannot see me, please go off mute and let me know so I can adjust it. And then I'll take the dumbbell away from me. If you want to put your hands underneath your glutes, you totally can, or you can put them by your side. Again, anywhere between 10 to 12. Feeling this in your glutes. And rest. We only got 4 different exercises today, but we're really looking to maximize contractions, maximize the movement quality. That way you get a pretty good amount of rest, but you also, again, focusing on building some strength and hopefully some muscle with these higher repetitions, okay? Go ahead and grab a sip of water if you want to, and then we're going to go through the interval again. Again, if you cannot see me, please let me know as I adjusted my camera for yesterday's webinar. Next one, straight, hang, clean, and press or jerk. Have your feet directly underneath your hips. Dumbbells to your side. Take them to your shoulders. And then go ahead and press. Again, try not to use your legs here. This is really focusing on getting some blood flow to your upper body and your shoulders. Also, too, make sure that your low back isn't super bent or your belly button isn't protruding forward. Really focus on having a nice, good, neutral spine. Having your hips nice and packed. Squeezing your quads and your glutes. Right. How's your hang, clean, and press? We'll let my shoulders kind of relax a little bit while you are finishing. Again, you can do totally more reps if you want to. It's your time to move, your time to exercise. Next one, we have back to the dumbbell single arm row. If you want to go and switch it up and do some alternating ones, maybe you have a moderate weight dumbbells, and you want to go ahead and do some alternating dumbbell rows, you totally can. Nothing changes besides the fact that you're utilizing 2 dumbbells. I'll show the single arm version. Again, anywhere between 10 to 12 is fine per arm. Feet underneath your hips. If you can also do more of a kind of chainsaw row. Have your hand resting on your thigh. And then I'll show the object with your hand placed on the chair or table or bench. Again, there's so many different variations here. Nothing's right or wrong. It's whatever works for you and whatever keeps you engaged, whatever you find fun for you. So, but I encourage you to do so many different variations because, some more beginner, some more intermediate, some more advanced. Once you finish that exercise, we're going to go ahead and go to the narrow stance squat. I'm going to go and do some body weight ones today, or body weight ones this time around. I'll go from the side view. Again, have your feet directly underneath your hips, and then really focus on pushing your knees forward. Again, this movement can look a little awkward, but you really want to focus on keeping your heels. Your heels can even slightly kind of go off the ground if you want to make it more of a what's called a sissy squat, like I explained earlier. But if you just want to focus on maximizing the length of your quads, try and get as much ankle mobility as you can. So you make it a quad stretch. But if you want to feel what that feels like, again, you could just really push your knees forward and you'll feel all that tension here on your quads. Anywhere between 10 to 12. I'm going to grab a sip of water. And then we have one more glute bridge. Going to go body weight. All right, heels by your hands or by your sides, or sorry, heels towards your glutes, hands by your sides. Go ahead and squeeze at the very top. Again, if you want to limit the range of motion, you can go ahead and put your hands underneath your glutes to limit your range of motion. You could also do a single leg glute raise. Just have one foot kind of in the 90-degree angle. Again, you're squeezing the very top. That will make it a little bit more challenging for yourself. All right, so we did 2 intervals. We're gonna go ahead and just do a little bit of mobility, a little bit of flow. Go ahead and perform some cat camels. Again, have your in the quadruped position. Get some flow to our spine. And bending our low back and then creating a nice big arch. We're pushing towards the mat / towards the ground. And then we're going to go and do a lat stretch. So right hand nice and stretched. Go ahead and take your right earlobe and push it past your bicep, your right bicep. You can lean to that side. And then we'll do the same thing with the left. I'll stretch your left hand, left earlobe past your left bicep. And then we'll do what's called some thoracic spine rotation. So have your right hands fully locked out. Make a C around your left earlobe, elbow to elbow, looking through your underarm while your elbow is fully locked out. Anywhere between 6 to 8 is fine. Once you finish that arm, again, left elbow or left arm fully locked out. Make a C around your right earlobe. Look elbow to elbow, and look through your underarm. And then lastly, we can go ahead and get a nice quad stretch. So we'll go ahead, have your heels or your toes anchored to the floor, and we'll take our glutes and try to push them back towards our heels. Feel a nice stretch in our knees, quads. You want to put your feet flat on the floor, you totally can to get even more of a stretch. And then we'll stretch out our wrists. So have your fingers facing toward your thighs, and then lean back toward your glutes or toward your heels. You can even rock back and forth so you don't have so much tension on your forearms. All right, everyone, thanks for coming. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and then I'm going to show you the letter of the day.